Hey guys, day two of the IPL. Day one saw a very exciting game. What did you guys think? I didn't expect CSK to pull it that close after Gill's innings, but they did. But Rashid to the rescue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, the game was, going in a seesaw manner. Basically, when CSK posted 178, I thought it was a very good total. Uh, but then, GT had a very good start. Gill was going strong. And then in between, when Gill got out, when I thought he could have carried on, when Gill got out, and CSK had the momentum, and even when they required 23 from the last two overs, uh, I thought CSK had a good chance. But like you said, Rashid came and took the game away in just two balls.
I think yes, what Chalkar mentioned absolutely bang on. The what happened was with Kane Williamson getting injured, they could not utilize the impact player like they would have liked to utilize. Their
Yeah,
batting became short, but Rashid being Rashid, the man he has become over the last few months for Afghanistan also,
Yeah,
adding that weight with the bat just made it look so comfortable at the end. And CSK, whatever chances they had because of Captain Cool, sort of just vanished away with once he came to the crease and knocked out their best bowler, 19th over, Deepak Chahar.
yeah.
And
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, great match. I think great start for Gujarati boys,
So,
where they left.
what did you guys think fantasy wise, right? Like, Moeen Ali didn't bowl, Dubé didn't bowl, Stokes didn't bowl. So, are they worse options, or do you think Moeen Ali being one down is still a good option? Like Dubé, I think I was a little bullish on him before the season, but I think that's all gone out the window now. But
Yeah, I think
Moeen
they're going to try to expose his short ball weakness. Alzari was constantly bowling short at him. And I think Moin, like you mentioned, maybe with the left-handers, when Sai Sudarshan was batting, he could have come in.
yeah.
But maybe MS is looking, their fast bowling lineup is very inexperienced,
But I think
CSK,
again, just to add, like
apart from
I
Chahal.
think it all changed because they're playing 7 games in Chepauk, right?
Right.
I don't know. Like pitches are very hard to predict.
Predict.
Who knows if Chepauk is still that spinning track? But if it is, then I think we might see Moeen Ali
Yeah,
bowl. Might see him.
absolutely.
I liked him. I have my eyes on him as a good
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Moin, what for me worked for Moin was he's still the trusted number three, right? Like that is what we got to know yesterday. That adds a lot of value of his as fantasy. And as you
But do
guys
you think
rightly
that'll
said,
happen only if they lose an early wicket? Do you think if in the eighth over they lose a wicket, Moeen still comes?
yeah, I think
I
that's a
think he
very
will,
valid.
yeah.
He will.
I think he will because Dhoni is not known for chopping and changing a lot, right? Like that's what I have understood.
Right.
Obviously, he plays around with his batting order, and we have seen Apatti Raidu getting the wrong stick on it for a long time. But for Moin, I think he has been number three for some time. Uh, we have to obviously keep a very close eye on him and how he sort of changes over the season. But I
Right.
think I can be pretty bullish that he's going to have that number three spot for at least the first couple of games.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And with Moen coming up the order, he's again among the, if he starts bowling as well, he's again one of, like one of the very good picks
Yeah.
who is
And
almost certain to give you points.
And I think Deepak Chahar also looks like a good pick. No wickets yesterday, but I think he's in for a few this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think we can take like a lot of things for CSK from a fantasy point of view, right? Like
Yeah.
even Devon Conway is coming with a great season. He did not have that match which he would have liked to, but they look pretty good at the top of the order. Bowling wise, I feel still Deepak Chahar is coming back from an injury. He was bowling 120, 125s in a very recent. Yesterday, he was clicking 130 plus. So, yeah, it's a good sign that he's actually back to where the original Deepak Chahar was. But yeah, I
Right.
would still like to see him mixing more swinging, out swinging deliveries. We saw a glimpse of it yesterday, but
yeah.
I would still hold the bowlers maybe for now, concentrate on their all rounders and batsmen. That's my
Yeah.
personal belief.
And
But
and
yeah,
we already have a budget gem, right? We
yeah,
have Hungary
Absolutely. Yeah. What a start.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Underrated.
5.5. So he's like the ultimate and uncapped, obviously. So he's,
Yeah.
I think every
Even
CSK game, everyone gets him in now.
even
Yeah.
Tushar,
Yeah.
like coming on as an impact right at the first over. Like Dhoni was very clear. That showed the captain's confidence in the player, right? Like it was not even that Tushar is going to come in at the sixth over when things did not go well in the power play. Dhoni knew he is his power play bowler. He
Yeah.
is his
Right.
second over guy, and I think that adds a lot of like confidence even in him as an uncapped free transfer that we can look at.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
I
But
think those
after
are.
his performance, who knows?
Yeah, but too
I
early
mean,
to
He
say.
was
I
maybe,
think 140
expensive.
plus.
He was
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah.
then yeah, like it's early days. I think Mukesh, they have big hole of losing Mukesh Kumar or Mukesh Chaudhary. And
Chaudhary.
Mukesh Chaudhary. Right. Right. Mukesh
so,
Chaudhary.
so yeah,
They
that's a
have a
big
lot of
hole.
options. They have that Simarjeet Singh. They have
Yeah,
Right.
one more guy, I think. Yeah, they have options.
a lot of
Yeah.
these young
Yeah,
Indian bowlers carry. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, both teams look good. I think good, good
I
team.
didn't expect Vijay Shankar to start. I thought they
Yeah,
may not start him, but
yeah.
he was
Great,
a
great. And they went with
that is
bowlers. I don't know why they went with Little and Alzari. I found that a little weird. Didn't their batting seem a little thin?
thin. Yes, it was thin.
Did, right?
and
Yeah.
with Kane Williamson injury, I think it became much thinner also because I think
Right.
that's what plays with the mind of the team
But is
management
it
also,
that
right?
is it
Impact rule.
so is this gonna be like because is it because they bowled first? Is it because they bowl first, you go with five
Sure.
bowlers and then you have your impact, right? That was the plan, which backfired
Right.
with the Williamson injury, but then
Right.
they pulled it off. But yeah,
I think you're bang on. I think that's exactly what they were thinking. Yeah.
uh, interesting.
So that's what
Okay.
he said. Hardik said, I think I read it like I missed the toss. So he said it
Yeah,
that I'm not sure of the playing 11 because
yeah,
I don't know. But
yeah,
he has the sheets he's carrying in his hand,
yeah.
which is the
Yeah.
batting, which is the bowling team. So like all these adds a lot of dynamics, right? Even in terms. So yeah,
We
a
have we
season
have
where
lesser time also now after toss to make our teams, right?
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
Or
Exactly.
maybe from
Yeah.
next game it might be better because they'll just say same team and shit. But I mean,
yeah, that is also another dynamic to actually keep our eyes on how much
Right.
time we are getting between the toss and
yeah.
Right.
something else.
All right. I think anything else from yesterday? Else we can move on to today.
Yeah, I think we should get
Yeah.
on
I
to
think we can move on to today. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we have a double header today, right? We have KKR Punjab and we have
Yeah.
Lucknow Delhi. So maybe let's quickly discuss these two games. Let's start with Lucknow KKR, right? Sorry, KKR.
Punjab.
Punjab KK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what we think the starting 11 will be. Obviously, I think KKR, especially with Shreyas injury, they have some scope to change stuff around. Like instead of Jagadish, and they might go with they have Gurbaz, they have Litton, so they have good wicket keeping openers. And then
Yeah.
obviously instead of Visa, Shakib, they can go in with like an Indian middle order. But what do you think? Like, do you think there's anyone else? Like I can show you the whole
I
thing.
think
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think I'm in pretty much agreement. The dynamic I think they can play there is your rightly as you
There's no
have not
Livingston
bolted
today, right? So this is the one thing. Probably
yeah.
Rajapaksa. Yeah.
is he back?
For
Sri Lankans were not back, right?
no, not yet, not yet. I think
Not yet.
Rajapaksa will another week
I
or
think they're
so.
out for the first 2-3 games. I think
Yeah,
until
yeah,
April
yeah.
8th, they
But
are not
did he
available.
go? Was he there? We'll have to check.
Rajapaksa might be in Sri Lankan playing 11. Yeah, that's true. That's possible.
Sikandar Raza might
They
be.
have Sikandar Raza as well, who is very interesting, I think.
Yeah. But then he's more of a bowling all rounder, right? I don't know. Like I don't know.
He's like, yeah, who comes 3 down and can finish games or can,
Yeah. Because
hold
they
the
He's been
who
batting.
do they
carrying
have?
Zimbabwe.
Like if they say they play Raza after they don't even have Bairstow.
Bairstow, they don't have Bairstow either, yeah.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, I think this
So
would be the Simranjeet Singh. If I'm
yeah,
not
yeah. No, Prabjeet Simran, I think. Simran
Prab
Singh.
Simran Singh,
Yeah.
yes. So I think that
Yeah.
he'll play here. He's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a good
He's
option.
so actually he's been having a killer T20 domestic T20 season. So he's been, if he can bring that form for Punjab, I think yeah, he's a player to watch.
And but then who comes one down, two down? Like I don't think Shah Rukh comes out so early. Probably Jitesh comes one down. I don't
I
know.
think Punjab has got really badly stuff because of the Bairstow loss. They have lost Mayank Agarwal, so
Yeah.
it's a team
Yeah.
which is actually rebuilding itself.
Right.
And Matthew Short equally stands a chance of opening today with Shikhar Dhawan. He's had a killer BBL season, and
Sorry,
you never
who?
know. Matthew
Matthew
Short,
Short.
the player who replaced John Bairstow, he's like one of the top performers of Big Bash League this year. And
Oh,
obviously we have not seen a lot of Big Bash success being replicated at IPL, but then again every year we have a Matthew Short who comes up. So yeah, he's one they might actually try for the first couple of games, considering there is no Bairstow now.
Right.
And then I think the mix sort of gets more decided with with I think the players performing.
I
I
think
think
Vishnu, currently there are like three overseas in the Punjab lineup. Maybe Short comes to open as the fourth overseas.
you're right. So they probably
yeah,
don't have like a Rishi Dhawan or someone. Or
Hmm.
you're
no,
saying they don't have Prab Simran. I think Prab
no, no,
Simran
no.
is from whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I think
Who
this
are their
seems
foreigners?
more like
Other foreigners like
No
for
one. They,
Punjab?
they have Nathan Ellie, and that's pretty much it. Rajapaksa obviously is not here.
Yeah. So I
No,
think first match we are not seeing a lot of their first 11 there. So I think
yes.
yeah, yeah,
it's a
yeah.
tougher call.
Like they have
And
Livingston in, and then it just changes it. Changes.
The
yeah,
loss of Bairstow and Livingston is, big
Bairstow's
gap
out
to
for the
fill.
season, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
big
Okay.
shoes to fill.
For KKR, I think the only dynamics is here whether they play a
Foreign people.
Gurbaz.
Yeah.
They play a
To
Gurbaz
be,
and
what do you think about Das, Litton Das? He's been in red hot form.
he will definitely play according to me. Once he's back from the Bangladesh, whatever their international games they are playing, I think they are also out for a week or two. So once all
Okay.
these
Right.
Bangladeshi cricketers are back, I
Right.
think Litton Das is just a definite pick. The explosive
Right.
season he has had domestically and for the Bangladeshis,
Who do
Right.
you
I don't think so.
who do you think plays today? Jagdishan or Gurbaz?
They might play Gurbaz because they would not like to change the team dynamic once Litton comes. I think that's the reason why I'm giving a bit more. I'm leaning towards Gurbaz playing instead of Jagdishan today, just because of the idea that Litton definitely has to play in this team, considering Shreyas
Right.
has got
But
ruled
the,
out for the
the only
season.
catch is right if they play Gurbaz, they
Who
don't they
plays
can't
here?
play Visa or Shakil. Then who do they play? Because I don't think they have great. Maybe like a
Who do
Mandeep Singh. They have Mandeep. Um,
I think yeah, it is honestly you are right actually. Now when I think of it, they might give a Jagdishan a go today and see how things shape in. It's a tough call, honestly.
yeah,
Uh,
that's the only call. I think the rest of the team is pretty sorted, right?
Right.
yeah, I think yeah, I'm in complete agreement. Venkatesh definitely moves up this season. I don't see a
Right.
Sunil Narine again coming and doing his mini cameos.
But we think
Definitely,
of that every. Oh, you mean opening? Yeah, yeah, no chance.
yeah, yeah,
No chance.
opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to see Russell bat up a bit this season. I would definitely personally
At
like to
his
see.
prime, they didn't do it. I don't see them
No,
doing.
but Vishnu, with Shreyas not there, they require that sort of a senior statesman, right? Other that whole middle order looks a bit iffy to me. Like Venkatesh Iyer did not have a like top order. Sorry, Venkatesh Iyer did not have a great season last year. Rana is the captain, but I think it's more because of a situation where KKR
Right.
did not have a senior player who is like a Russell is not a kind of a personality who can captain. Naren is very calm and in himself to carry the team. And it ended up coming in the hand of Nitish Rana, but he himself has not had a great domestic season either. So some sort of explosive, some sort of a difference in thinking I'm expecting from the team management. But yeah, we'll get to know more about it today. I'm really looking forward to what happens today.
All right.
Right.
With that, I think we sort of have like a rough starting 11 in mind. Let's maybe go into it now, right? Let's look at which picks are good, which picks to avoid, and then in between you have differential picks, right? Who probably are lesser owned but have scope to do well, right? And obviously premium mid price budget, because you know how season long is. A lot of times you end up with low money, with a lot of money, whatever, right? So let's try and look at each team and fit players in. So who do you think are like which are the first two names that come to your mind for good pick?
So you'd like us to go team by team, Vishnu, or do
No,
we
like
just
just
like
straight off the bat, when you think of these two teams, is there some name which is like, oh, has to be
Sam
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 Curran.
yeah,
is
yeah,
he's number 5, he's number 6, he's their opening bowler, he's their death bowler.
yeah,
He can come a cameo at the end, he can do everything. And that's how the money also they are paid for him. So I don't think
Right.
so. I can see beyond Sam Curran as my first pick.
yeah.
Right.
And I think it, at least for me, I feel like it stops there.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
was actually thinking the same, that I think it stops there, especially for this match.
yeah, like
Certain
Russell
matches.
obviously is there, but only thing is, does he even bowl? Does he
Yeah.
come three down or does he come five down or what? Like it's just hard to tell. So Russell is a little bit of a wait and watch for me. But
Russell is always Russell, just to add, Russell for me traditionally playing over the years fantasy has always been the guy whom I definitely get in when KKR bats first,
yeah,
and I sort of take a judgment call if he's batting second. So that is just because the team management playing him really low down the order, and that is why as a personal fantasy uh, uh, manager also I would like to see Russell coming up. Reduces my headache, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
definitely have your captain or vice captain once Russell starts playing facing
So
more
after
deliveries.
Sam, do you guys think Russell is the next best pick, or do any other names come to mind?
Shikhar, I feel, has so much to prove with Rohit Sharma and Kohli also telling him that 2023 World
Right.
Cup is going to be your final calling and you should
Right.
prepare for that accordingly. Now, with Shubman Gill coming in and having a stellar run in the Indian team, Shikhar
Right.
got pushed out of the team, right? Like he's getting pushed out of the team, and like what RCB or IPL 2022 did for Dinesh Karthik. I feel Shikhar might also have a point to prove here. So he's someone I'm really closely looking at,
Same
and
here.
maybe I'll
Yeah.
go for
Yeah.
him also. But yeah, I think he's the best I can think out of this lot
Where
here.
do you think we put
I
him?
like
Do we put him in the mid range or the premium? Because I think he's more affordable, right?
No,
He's
he's
like
premium. I
his
think he's
premium.
premium. Yeah.
he's premium.
I really like Arshdeep,
Hmm.
like especially if Punjab bowl first, right? He just
Hmm.
tends to always get wickets in the
Yeah.
death. Like always. If they bowl first, I think definitely I'll probably have Arshdeep in my team.
Looks like we are backing Punjab to win today, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I think
with all these picks in all departments.
right.
Yeah,
I think even I'm not talking about premium picks, but Rinku is also kind of someone who I want to see how he performs because he ended the last season on a high, and maybe he can go into a differential pick, maybe where not. I don't think maybe as an uncapped player he's popular as an uncapped pick, but I think there are many options in the uncapped. There's Brar as well, who
yeah.
has done fairly well in
What
the
what
past.
about Nitish Rana?
He's not uncapped
Captain?
now, right? He's
No,
capped,
no,
isn't
not
he?
capped, not
Yeah,
uncapped, but
No, I
I,
think he's capped now.
he's capped. He's capped.
yeah, he's capped. He's capped.
I mean, just as a pick, even if he's capped, like he's captain now, traditionally always does well in the first half of the season.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think he's an okay pick. I don't think a lot of people will pick him. Um,
I'm actually, to be very honest, not very sure how he did domestically because he was leading the side
Hmm.
domestically, so that has also given him some captaincy. But I'm not sure how he traditionally performs with the captains because some leaders uh, become better players with captaincy. So that is
Right.
something I would like a close eye on. So I would maybe put him in differential rather than a goodbye immediately.
Yeah, agreed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Would keep.
Who do you straight up avoid? Do you have anyone in mind? Naren maybe?
I think in terms of our first 11, I think we should avoid right now players like Short and Raza. They are just entering the sort of IPL, and we have seen traditionally, as I was telling earlier in the
But if
call,
if you
that
wait for the toss and Raza plays, won't you be tempted? Considering like Punjab doesn't seem to have many batsmen, he might come two down, three down, and I think he will bowl. Might be
yeah,
a good pick. And I don't know how much he costs, but I'm sure
I
he's.
would avoid Rabada, to be honest, even though he's a great player, just
Highest
because
wicket taker over the last 3 seasons, man.
he's so expensive, and there are players like Chahar, Brar, or Steep. We don't know how the wickets are going to be distributed. So, are you willing to pay a premium in the first game when you don't know if he's going to pick wickets? And when there's so much uncertainty with the bowlers always. So,
I think,
I think.
yeah,
Hmm.
go ahead.
No, I think, yeah, while you make a valid point on that, I just seeing that top order of KKR, you never know, like a Rabada might just run through it, right? Like
right,
that is something that can sort of
right,
highly possible because if you look at the top order, Venkatesh Iyer, as a saying, not in
right,
great form, Jagdish and
right,
Gurbaz coming for the very first time into IPL, Rana Ipi with the
right.
captaincy, Rinku, always you never know what to expect. So,
Yeah,
like, there is
yeah.
probability in power play, Rabada might just run through the
Fair
KKR top
point.
order.
I think even as the season progresses, if you start noticing that certain teams are getting bundled out faster than the others, you can start getting more
Yeah.
confidence in putting in bowlers playing against that particular opposition.
I
You're right.
think my first name that comes to my mind is Naren. And I think that's more tactically, like because of his price, because of the fact that he doesn't come to bat anymore, because of the fact that he's overseas, all that, right? Like I think that puts me off Naren. And I was going to
Mm.
say KKR's bowling in general, like none of them seem good, but yeah, I mean considering Punjab's batting today, anything can happen. So
Right.
only Naren.
Even Shahrukh, I'm a little doubtful, especially if
Yeah.
KKR is batting first and Punjab is chasing a low total. You don't know if Shahrukh will even bat or not. If we don't
Yeah.
know if Punjab's planning to send him one down or three down or four down. So a
Yeah.
lot of uncertainty
I
over there.
think that's a good strategy in general, right? For people to know. Like if after the toss, you know who's chasing, people
Yeah.
lower down the order in the chasing team try to avoid. And who becomes like better options? I think the death bowler of the team bowling first, probably, because teams try to slog in the end and tend to give away the wicket more easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, if bowling first, I think Arshdeep from Punjab, maybe even Rabada is a good option. And KKR who bowls at the death, probably
Locky, I
Loki
think they
and
will.
Russell. If Russell doesn't bowl, they're gonna have to bowl Umesh.
Then I'm Umesh is bowling the death. I'm definitely getting Shahrukh on if Umesh is bowling because Umesh being Umesh at the death, like he just comes across as someone who'll bowl first 3 overs like 11 runs, unplayable and what's and he just comes and gives 25 runs at the end. So
Yeah.
that's your own. I
So
think they
who's
might.
avoid? I think probably
Sh-
Shahrukh,
yeah, I
I
think
think. Ah, Naren.
Naren, Shahrukh in mid-priced, or I think he's budget. He's still budget. I think after last season, definitely he'll be back to budget.
who?
Shahrukh, I'm not sure what exactly when
Yeah.
he's priced, but yeah, I think
And
definitely.
probably Umesh, right? Would you get it? Would
Yeah,
you say avoid Umesh? Yeah.
I wouldn't get him at the beginning. I will see how Umesh because Umesh has those
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
seasons.
Wait and
Yeah,
watch kind of thing. Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a wait and watch sort of a player.
What about Visa if he plays. Does he tempt you? Sort of like Raza, I think, right? I think similar.
Right now I feel with I'm very closely looking at Shardul's role in this team because he's a player you have bought outside the window and you have paid like over 10 crores for him, and then your impact player rule comes in, right? Like the impact player rule completely changes now a value proposition for a player like Shardul, like who can bowl a few overs, bat a few. Your impact player comes in and like gives you anyways the 5-6 bowling options. So I would like to see how KKR use Shardul. So he is someone again like a differential for me because they have paid a huge price tag. They like the whole thing around him, and so yeah, Shardul is someone I think I would keep as a differential.
I
This
think that's a very fair point, especially with all his slower ball variations and the dipping ball. They might want to use him in the death overs. That, yeah,
but your impact player point, right, Shubham? It brings to my mind, you were saying Russell batting first, you get. But if they bat first, I don't think he bowls
Hmm.
because they get in their impact player. And I mean, unless he's become super fit out of nowhere, I
You
don't think
never
he
know.
bowls. So again, that's a
Yeah,
big risk with Russell.
yeah, that's I think a very valid point. Yeah, this is something these impact player rules I think is
Yeah.
going to be a learning for all fantasy managers.
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
overall fantasy, like bowling second, like you can say with more certainty that your part-time bowlers may not get to bowl, but your first, I think the team bowling first will, right? Because they're not going to use their. So I think that's a good way to look at it. I think
Yeah,
that can get
yeah,
you
makes sense.
some advantage.
Well, that's what happened yesterday, right? And Ambati Raidu played in the first 11 just
Yeah,
because CSK batted first. Otherwise, he would never make it. He would come in as an impact player if required at
yeah,
in the
Yeah.
second. So yeah, that's a dynamic I'm really looking closely at. Will alter a lot of our thinkings and our learnings
yeah,
also. But yeah,
Yeah.
some things will stay
yeah,
consistent. Like Sam Curran definitely being a good pick.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
we'll
I
see.
think I was just gonna ask like if we should discuss captaincy, but I think we don't really do. Who would you vice captain? Let me just
I
straight.
think that's a better question. Yeah. Who do you vice captain, right? I think Shikhar is a good option, fairly popular option. I think, usually doesn't take too many risks, play shots along the ground.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think to
yeah,
looking at their batting, he knows he needs to be there. I think
yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
gonna.
He's going to have something like how Rahul sort of altered his DNA, became from an aggressive to a gatherer because of the Punjab's middle order. I think Shikhar this year, he's already been someone who's comfortable in that role. Now it gives him a even further license, actually. So, yeah, that's why I was
right,
saying Shikhar is someone definitely looking a lot of things to prove this year. So, yeah, maybe
right.
I'm going with Abhishek here, Sarkar here. Yeah, that we could have Shikhar as vice captain today's match.
Cool. And maybe one last thing before we wrap up is this captaincy, right? Say you have like a amazing batsman, amazing all rounder, amazing bowler. Who do you tend to captain? Do you think a batsman or a bowler has like an undue advantage, or do you think um, it doesn't matter? You go with the better player, or do you tend to lean towards one? Like what I'll tell you what I think. I don't have something I do, but I think bowlers are more. They keep ticking along. They're more steady, and I think batsmen have like the higher upside, right? Like they can really
Right.
explode, like how Rituraj did yesterday. Whereas bowlers, it's rare, a little more rare and a little more unpredictable, I'd say, to know who's
Yeah,
going to take. Like yesterday, it
yeah,
was Angarekar taking the wickets, right? But a lot of people knew Ruturaj and Gill are probably the right choices. So that makes me lean a little more towards batsmen because of the predictability and because of the higher upside.
upside. Yeah,
Yeah, I think personally also traditionally I think always been a batsman's game, and even the fantasy points I think rewarded similarly. Like in terms of a batsman, a bowler, though 100 of a batsman is said to be more similar to a 5 wicket by a bowler, but yeah, the probability of that sort of feels less because at the end of the day you have 4 overs, whereas a batsman can even play 60 balls in a match.
Yeah,
So the bowlers
Yeah.
get restricted by in terms of the contribution they make because that has a cap, that is an upper limit. And I
right.
think with that not being there for a batsman, I would also go with what you were
You know,
saying, Vishnu.
I would look at it this way, if your team is cruising along in season long and you want to play it safe, I would typically pick a batsman. Whereas,
You mean
if
pick a
you're in a
bowler?
desperate situation, if you're in a desperate situation to make a move that will really make a difference, then you can look at the option of picking a bowler because not many people are going to do that. And if you get it right, then it's like you hit lottery.
And
So, but
all-rounders less valuable
all-rounders, I
because
think,
of the impact.
players like Hardik and Cameron Green, they are premium options because
Yeah,
they bat up the order like a batsman and bowl as well. So
yeah.
you can't beat that. You're still going to pick them over.
But players like
Uh,
And
Russell
Diaz as
maybe
well.
aren't. Yeah.
And
But maybe
Diaz as well.
Russell and players like that are a little less valuable because they may not bowl
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
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 impact rule is going to kill all rounders. I also feel that, like all these itsy bitsy all rounders over the season, I would actually like to see how they themselves alter their game, right? Like that is something that I'm very closely looking at. Because
right,
Tewatia used to not get bowling earlier also. He went to the domestic, he bowled massively. And then he comes back again, he's at that position where they will play 5 bowlers. There's a prospect of like him not getting bowling again the whole season. So yeah,
right,
I would look at these tier two all-rounders very closely now.
right.
All right. I think let's wrap up with that. Good talk, guys. And yeah,
Yeah.
all the
Yes.
best for the game.